Good morning, everyone. So glad that you're able to join us again. I'm Erin Dempster from Autism and Behavior Resources, and I am here with Davena from the Union County Public Library, and she also has a son that we're going to talk about also. But I wanted to chat with her and learn about the sensory night that she hosts at the library and her experience in the community. And if you guys have any questions for her, we will be able to see them, so you can ask along on the bottom in the comments. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your son and your experience and how you got into the field and all that kind of stuff?
My son Wyatt just turned 21, so he's actually aged out of pediatric services, which is a whole new ball game for us.
Absolutely.
And when he was first diagnosed, it was during the era where they really weren't prepared in schools, in facilities. We lived in a very rural area, so there weren't a lot of services available.
And you didn't live around here.
And we didn't live around here.
Right.
We lived in Pennsylvania, but we were about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
So there weren't a lot of available services. There weren't a lot of available services for kids in general,
Right.
let alone
in
kids
the rural
with special,
areas.
special
Absolutely.
needs. So fast forward, over the years, Wyatt has kind of been a part of those kids, that group of kids that have kind of paved the way for a lot of the services
Absolutely.
that most of the children really benefit from today, at least in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And now we're in that same field of entering into adult services that really aren't prepared for autistic adults and that have aged out of the system. So that's a whole nother gamut. But that being said, one of the things I wanted to provide is we have a huge population in our local area that are underserved when it comes to special needs, to sensory issues, whether they're on the spectrum, whether they're just premature and still have some sensory issues, or a typical child that just has a hard time, melts down, overloads.
Right.
And it makes it difficult for them to access programs at the library because the parents a lot of times feel out of place or feel like they're being judged, even though they're not. That feeling is there, and I understand. I get it.
Absolutely.
But one of the things we wanted to do was bring that feeling of that they're welcome, that we're here for you, that we have services, that we will always try to include you, but also give them a space where they feel this is theirs. They can come, they feel safe, they don't feel judged, they don't feel, and the kids can run and play and do stuff that...
Judgment-free zone,
a judgment-free zone. But to also being aware that, it's try to keep it as understimulate, not overstimulating. If they need to provide an area where if they need to go have a meltdown and calm down, they can. And that's part of what we've done. And because of that, our hope was that it would then help them feel more comfortable, that the kids actually want to be at the library. And it also enables a lot of their siblings aren't able to access services that we provide, which we have a lot of programs.
Oh my gosh, fabulous
for the whole family. But because they might be having difficulty even just getting out of the house with a child with sensory issues. By the time you get to the library and try to do anything, it's just get books, get out. Don't come at all.
Yeah.
And so our hope, and it has happened, we've seen in the last year, where a lot of these families feel comfortable. The kids want to be there. They want to go to the library, get books. And so it has opened up more accessibility, more acceptance, more... people are used to them being there. It doesn't mean there aren't going to be issues, but they're more aware, and our staff is more aware, and whether they understand how to work with them or not, that's not the point. The point is that they understand that someone might be there that may not react the way another, and kids in general are going to be overwhelmed, and we expect them to be little adults, and they're not. They're children, and so. But that's basically the reason.
And I think one of my favorite things is we've seen it multiple times at the event that parents are at the sensory event, and then they say, "You guys did so well here today. Let's go to the library and check out books." And it's giving them the opportunity to be able to check out books that they might not been able to check out before.
Well, and the nice thing that I've seen is actually the kids are like, "I want to get a book. I want to get a book," and the parents are able to say, "Well, we need to clean up first. We need to help clean up, and then we'll go get a book." So it's actually been beneficial for everyone.
Using the pre-MAC principle and ABAs, using that principle to get something in the end that's pretty reinforcing for everybody.
It is, and and everyone's benefiting. The library's the community benefits because we really want to be there for everyone. In a library in general, they're a judgment-free zone to begin with. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be, a place where everyone from any background, any, economic, social, religious background can come. And it's one of the last areas in the world, that type of, facility that does that.
Right.
And this was just an area, and they really, the library itself really wanted and still wants to reach that population.
That's awesome. Do you want to talk about a little bit about the items that are in the sensory night room and some of the things that you're adding tonight that I know a lot of people are going to be excited about?
Well, I kind of have it set up in stations to kind of focus on the different areas of sensory, like proprioceptive, kinesthetic, a calming area, more manipulatives, or fidget toys or things. So there's all different areas. There's there's two trampolines.
And they don't have to go in those orders. They
can move around
and
freely.
The toys get moved from location to location.
And as is normal, children don't always play with things in their intended purpose. That doesn't mean it's still not play, and it's not. But part of the purpose is also to show parents that a lot of the items we have are not specifically therapy items. They're items that can be bought anywhere, like at Walmart or, Five Below or any of your local retailers online, whatever, that they can
use at home
for their child that likes to bounce. One of the little trampolines, when Wyatt was little, that was a godsend because he needed that input for his body, and if we didn't have that, it would have been crazy.
No sleep that night, right?
Yeah. It was always a problem because he was an elopement risk anyway. But so I have that. We have like I said, we have a lot of toys. And a lot of toys are normal developmental toys, but they are also ones that can really help the child if they're looking to calm or to self-soothe or to just run and have fun. We have some balanced items. We have heavy weight, so I have some weighted balls. Some of the new things that we've added for the calming room is I have a tent.
Fabulous.
And it's big enough that if some of the older kids want to go in it, they can. I wanted to make sure it was one that they could fit. So there'll be, the lighting is soft in there, and it'll be an area that if they want to go, there's mats where they can sit if they need to calm, or if they just want to sit in there and
read a book,
chill and read a book. Also, if parents are nursing, moms are nursing, and they want to go in there, it's a quiet space away from everyone else if they want to do that.
Yeah.
Another thing we're adding is like one of the soft balance beams.
Okay.
But it's one that can be in pieces, so it can be adjusted to different designs. A circle, a shape, a squiggle shape. We've got some scooter boards.
I know lots of kiddos love those.
Yeah, so we have some scooter boards. So I'm hoping to kind of set up not necessarily a structured, but an area where they would try to keep it in that area so they can play on that.
And that's great for laying on the stomach, using the
yes,
hands,
absolutely.
pull around.
There's so much that can be used
Peers can
for.
pull each other around, so lots of different things that scooter boards can be used for, and I hope families can see that, and then maybe that's something they add to the Christmas list. Or
there's so much with it, and they're not expensive.
No.
And scooter boards are like an amazing tool between if they need to lay out stomach work, different things, truncal stability, core strength, which all lead to. If you don't have core strength, you can't sit and learn to read or to eat even. A lot of children that have eating issues, it's because they can't hold their body position. Right. So all those things feed in. We have, and I can't remember the name of the sand. It's
Mad Matter sand.
Mad Matter sand.
Yep.
So I also have that. Yep. So it shouldn't be messy. I'm going to have that set up in an area. So if any of them want to play with that, those are just some of the new things that we've added. We'll have resource materials if anyone wants to ask. Erin plans to be there if you have questions. One of the great things that I've found with this program is also the networking, because we have families that are still like I just got diagnosed, or we just moved to the area. We have no idea where to begin, where to start.
And we have seen friendships build between
Absolutely.
the families and the parents through these events, which I think is amazing.
And it is, and that's part of building community, and part of what the library is about is building that strong community and interacting and being a part of our community, and providing services that are needed, that are free. Yeah. That's the other thing. You can access services elsewhere, and it doesn't mean that they're any better or any worse than ours, but ours are free. Right. And that gives the parent a chance to say, hey, this is really working for my child, then where could I find this product, or where could I find this service, or do you know where, and that's part of the real benefit too, because as a library, we are in the business of information. And I think one of the really cool programs that many people might not know about is the ASL class that you guys are hosting. And that is huge and majorly needed in the community. So do you want to talk about that a little bit? Sure. This year we've actually had to split into 2 separate groups. Awesome. Because we had combined it kindergarten to 6th grade last year or whatever, and it was just the developmental and academic level was different. And we needed to separate them. But also, we have a young lady and her mother from our community who is deaf and is in our school system. And she and some of her friends are also coming to the older class, which is 4th grade and up. Okay. So that she can communicate with them, and that they can learn to communicate. In our area, we have students and children that have any number of communication issues that doesn't necessarily have to do with hearing, right? But communication and sign language is a huge factor. But on top of it, there's no place for them to easily access
to communicate with their friends,
how to learn. But also in this area, one of the things is deaf culture. We don't have a deaf culture area here. So for the children that are deaf or hard of hearing, they don't have access to what it's like. So the ASL class is set up with the fact that we want them to learn the proper sentence structure, the proper signs, but to understand that when in communicating with someone, you still need to communicate on what they're comfortable with. So there are some of the children who have people in their churches or in their communities who are deaf, and it's like you use what you need to. So a lot of people in this area use what's called total communication. Right. So they use whether it's lip reading, whether it's sign, whether it's writing, whether it's exact English because they're in a school setting. Right. It's all beneficial, but to understand that if they do pursue it as a career or as a foreign language, that it has specific structures and specific culture, and that our culture, what we find normal and rude is completely opposite a lot of times in the deaf culture. Yeah. But so that's part of it.
Having that in the community is huge, and allowing the interaction that might not have been able to be there before, I think is greatly appreciated.
And we've had to greatly limit because we have people that we had to turn away because we just don't have the room to accommodate them. And if anybody's out there and does know of someone that would be willing or interested in teaching adults, we have so many adults that want to learn. And because I do children's programmings, I honestly don't have the time in my schedule in order to facilitate an adult class. I mean, it would be very basic ASL.
Okay, please.
And here is an example of what my son does when he knows we are busy, that he will ask for something that I may not necessarily give him right away.
Wyatt, do you want to say hello to everyone?
Come here, say hi.
Scoot in and say hi. Here,
sit
you want to sit with us? Aaron. Here, sit down.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to tell him your name?
Good.
Say my name.
Wyatt Fenneman.
Yeah, nice job. How old are you?
Listen to Miss Aaron.
How old are you? You are...
How old are you?
Is he 20?
No, how old are you?
22.
21. 21 years old. And where did you go yesterday?
Good.
Where did you go? You went to the...
Where'd you go with Nick?
Nick.
Where yesterday?
Fair.
The fair. Very cool. Well, thanks for being on our video. I appreciate it.
Bye.
He doesn't like to hear me talk, so that's part of it. He loves the video record himself, but
maybe I'll have to do an interview with Wyatt just one day, and we
without the headphones.
Without
you
the
might
headphones.
do that.
Yeah, and we could have a mini conversation about some things.
There was something else that I wanted to touch on with the programs, but I don't remember what it was.
What about the programs that you do? I think you had like the speech therapist come, the OT, the feeding.
Yes.
That's something else.
And that actually starts back up October. We have what's called a parent-child workshop, or ABC Play With Me.
Okay.
And it's set up again like in different stations. And part of being a children's place
Cookie,
library, one.
You can have one cookie.
Just one.
Yes.
Yes.
Stinker. Being a family place library center is we have to offer at least twice a year offer a series of 5 events where we have professionals available, where the children can come and play, interact, and so it's in a lot of ways it's a similar setting, but much more, and that's from birth up to like 4 years old.
Okay.
So the object of that is child play. It's child driven, child guided, where the parent is supposed to go along with where the child plays, but it also gives them an opportunity to see their developmental level next to other kids that they might be wondering, well, my child only does this, but when they're there with 3 other kids within their, within a couple months of their child's age, they realize, wait, this is completely normal.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it can also allow them to go, maybe my concerns are grounded, or and I do have a basis for concern, so the professional is there and she can ask the questions. So each week focuses on a different theme, and there's a different professional. She's not there to present. They are there to answer questions, to provide information, to direct to services if needed. So there's the themes are speech and language, early childhood development, music and movement, food and nutrition, and then early literacy. And they all tie in together, but each week there's a different professional that's there, and there are different resources that focus on those themes. And they still play and do everything. It's more to let the children play, and then we always close with a specific game, so we have a beginning and ending time. And it's really nice if the families are concerned about maybe speech or OT, and if they're concerned if maybe early intervention should be called, or if you should be going to your pediatrician and asking these questions. That would be an option to start asking those questions to these professionals. And we have a lot of young families that move into the area because between the hospitals, the prisons, and the universities that are young families, young parents who are professionals but don't know where to start to even begin to look. Well, the system is very hard to figure out itself. And what is available has gaps and holes in it, the information that's out there. And that's part of what the library does, is to bring the information to the people that are looking for it and need it. And so this is just one more avenue to serve our community. That's awesome. Well, thank you everyone for watching. The Sensory Night is tonight from 6:30 to 7:30 in the library. There'll be lots of activities. There'll be friends there to interact with, play with, and it's a great time. So I hope to see everyone there, and Davena will be there also if you guys have any questions. It is recommended that you register through the library website under the calendar page. Yeah, if they go to the calendar and click on the event, and then they can register right there. Okay, and I have a post from yesterday on my Facebook page if you want more information or to see the flyer about the event. Thank you so much for joining us. And they can also call the library if they are having difficulty. They can call and ask to register, and they'll register. And pre-registration is requested but not required. Not required. So if you're not sure if you're not going to make it and don't register, please come. If you're having a good night at 6 o'clock, come on over to the library, and we're happy to see everyone in Lewisburg. And even if you register and you know you're heading out the door and it's just not gonna happen, we get it. We understand. We all get it. So there's no hard feelings. No, that's completely fine. So don't let that hold you back from registering or from coming. Yeah. So it is the 4th Thursday of every month. Yes. Okay. But because November is Thanksgiving, we will not have one, but we will have one the Thursday after Christmas.
Okay.
So if you can't come, that's fine, but
Right.
you might be looking for a place to
Get some energy
get
out.
some energy out and just kind of chill
Yes.
and enjoy, and that we'll have the
Okay.
program.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye
Bye.
everyone.